editions and has launched the third edition this year. So for this launch and for getting into the details of the context, I call now my colleague Anurag, who is the innovation lead at Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, to give a background of what happened in the first two editions. Over to you, Anurag.
Yeah, thanks, Neha, and thank you everyone who has joined today for the call on YouTube Live, and we really look forward to your participation. So in the next 5 minutes, I'll be explaining about the past, what has gone through in the first edition. So I'll quickly share my screen. Just give me a second. Let me know when you can see the screen. Yeah. So I hope that my screen is visible.
Yeah, now it's visible.
Yeah. So this is the third edition of AIM-ICDK Water Innovation Challenge, and we started this partnership started as a green strategic partnership between the two nations of India and Denmark. And in 2021, we had the first Water Innovation Challenge. And just a recap of that challenge was we roughly had about 400 applications in two streams, which is students and entrepreneur teams. And out of those 400 applications, 6 students and 4 startup teams were selected. And the winners of the Indian consortium became a member of the Next Generation Water Action Program. And the participants got a chance to exhibit and pitch their products at the virtual International Water Congress, which was held, but in 2021, you all were aware that the world was fighting with COVID, and this was virtually done in 2021. The 5 nations that participated were India, Denmark, Ghana, US, and Brazil. So these are the challenge areas of the first edition, which is digital water management solutions, solutions for monitoring and prevention of leakage in city supply, wastewater management across rural agri-belts, rainwater harvesting in rural and urban settlements, and safe and sustained drinking water. So the results of the first edition was that 2 of the startups, Indian startups, Agromorph and Digital Eco Innovation, were, out of the 5 countries that participated, they were listed in the top 5 startups. Similarly, a few scholarships were provided. Agromorph and Ekatwam were, the startups that received International World Water Congress scholarships. Then there was a team, Smart, which received Acceleration Award and, a prize money of 1,000 euros, which was received by 6C Resources. So this was the first edition, which happened in 2021. And seeing the response of that, I think, more students got excited. And, in the second edition, we got a much higher participation. We roughly got about 600 odd applications. And out of that, so it was a very rigorous process that we followed, that reducing the number of 600 to 2 startups and 3 student teams. So which got a chance to go physically this time to Copenhagen, Denmark, and present their solutions. So in the 2022 edition, the countries that participated were Denmark, India, Kenya, Mexico, and South Korea. So again, the challenge statements of edition 1 and edition 2 were a little different. We wanted to make sure that, we are covering all the areas. So here you can see broad challenge areas of edition 2. The results of that were, Solinas and Omset were the 2 startups which received awards. And from the student teams, it was Hydro Gravity City, which were the national winners. And similarly, another student team, Barco, were the water challenge winners. I feel very glad that, through this program, many of them started their journeys, especially the student teams, and the startups got an immense platform, and they have gone, done very well and have become a major name in the national ecosystem. So I just want to showcase some of the things that these startups have achieved. So here on the right-hand side, you see Solinas, which, participated in the Indian Shark Tank. and they were able to raise about 1 crore for 2% equity. Similarly, OMSAT, it received an award from World Food Program, and similarly, such similar stories exist for the other startups as well. So I feel very glad that startups through ICDK were able to garner that attention, garner those eyeballs, reach up to a certain level where they could present themselves not just nationally but internationally as well. So for this third edition, I really urge all the students and startup teams who are watching this to kind of apply to this edition. And yeah, that's it from my side.
Thank you very much, Anurag, for that detailed overview into the first two editions, as well as what the third edition is going to be about. Now I call our colleague Mary, who is the project manager at the Office for Innovation and Sector Services at the DTU Skylab, for her keynote. Over to you, Mary.
Thank you very much, and a warm welcome to all of you that are listening in today. My name is Marie-Louise Polman Larsen, and as a chief consultant here at DTU Skylab, which is the hub for innovation and entrepreneurship at the Technical University here in Denmark, where it's around lunchtime at the moment, I have had the privilege to lead the design, but also the management of this global program that we're calling Next Generation City Action. Thanks to our many dear partners working in and also with India, many whom are represented today in this seminar to give short talks, I'm extremely humble and excited that we got the opportunity to enroll, engage, and invite young, talented students and early stage startups to join this global program. This is done under the strong program identity and partnership that we have called AIM-ICDK Innovation Challenge. That in fact, as Anurag also highlighted, we are now rolling out the third edition. So we are building on a lot of experiences, but as I will also tell you this time, we're working with a new World Congress that's being hosted this summer in Copenhagen. So we're also very excited about providing this as a new opportunity for new talented young people in Denmark. So I hope that we are also creating a lot of curiosity and excitement, and really encourage you to sign up to be considered for this experience. Because this summer, Copenhagen is actually hosting the world's largest event on sustainable architecture. This is not a congress only focusing on architecture and the built environment. This is focusing on inviting conversations and solutions, focusing on how do we create a sustainable future, leaving no one behind. This is a domain and a topic that's relevant for a lot of different technology-based solutions, having conversations across generations, but also inviting non-architects as part of this global event. And this we're doing by building a strong program that starts way before the Congress to invite young, talented students, strategic partners, and early stage startups to both work together, but also be prepared on giving the maximum output to a World Congress and the conversations and the opportunities we can create within. For the past 3 years, we have been building this program that we are launching now, that will become an integral part of the UIA World Congress here in Copenhagen, to allow and invite a total of 100 young, talented students and early stage startups from diverse backgrounds and sectors and countries to bring their perspectives and solutions and ideas into this global stage. Focus is on aspiring conversations and ideas around inclusion, innovation, and action towards the 17 Sustainable Development Goals as a key foundation of what the legacy is in the Congress, but also how this Congress is an opportunity for new solutions to emerge and for early stage startups to really get a global stage to create a lot of opportunities that has a lot of life and opportunities also going beyond the Congress, as Anurag just presented. This is not only about the Congress, it's about the global community that's gathering here and the opportunities and the skill sets that can come out of being involved in this program. We are inviting young talents of maximum 35 years of age to sign up and join this opportunity. And you can get a lot more information if you visit both the website on Atal Innovation Mission, but also our website that's called nextgenerationcityaction.com, where you can also read more about the activities, the program, the participants, and the outcomes of the previous years. But before I hand over to the next speaker, I just wanted to briefly outline that the opportunity is focusing on 2 tracks of involvement. The first track is called Young Academics. Here you can actually sign up as a student team from your university and to dedicate the first 3 weeks in June to work on a real life challenge. You can be working on the Indian Water Challenge, but you can also be connected with some of the other sustainability challenges that we're bringing in together with our international partners from around the world. You will be facilitated by us and our international partners to both deep dive into the challenge, understanding how you, with your background and competences, can provide and ideate new perspectives and concepts to the challenge together with partners. But you will also be working alongside a lot of other student teams from all around the world that will be working on similar challenges as yours. When you sign up and you are selected to be part of this program, we are also confirming your full participation in the 8 days program that will take place here in Denmark. That means that we have, thanks to a lot of partners and external support, being able to fully finance your travel and your stay and the program activities that will take place here in Copenhagen from the 28th of June until the 7th of July. A lot of the activities will be an integral part and a strategic angle into the World Congress. We will make sure you get to access the network. You will be able to share your perspectives and ideas and solutions. But we will also tailor a big program where you get to meet a lot of different industries around Copenhagen, where you get to meet and connect with the other universities coming from other places around the world, and really also foster your opportunities to work with open innovation that can inspire the people and the partners that are part of this program. We expect that you bring innovation skills in action, that you have an entrepreneurial drive and a passion to really create a big opportunity in this program. However, you may continue this journey as a full-fledged startup and looking into the entrepreneurial opportunities. But we also hope that by connecting you with strategic sector programs, with industry and public authorities and partners, that there might also be other synergies on how to actually proceed with these ideas and the network that you're gaining into this program. So there might also be opportunities to collaborate as a student, as an industry fellow, together with the partners that you are able to access in this program. For the young entrepreneurs, which is the second track that we're inviting for, so also please be aware when you're signing up, whether you are signing up as a existing business, as an early stage startup, or you're signing up as a student team. For the startups, we are also looking at young founders of maximum 35 years of age that are working with sustainable, inclusive cities that are targeting smart, livable cities. You need to see the opportunities in joining and participating in the Congress, having an opportunity to showcase and accelerate your idea, looking at how it can become more globally scalable, how you can bring inclusion in as a strategic development, and how you might be able to invite for new types of partnerships by actually tapping into the opportunities here. For the startups, we are building an accelerator program to make sure that you get the most out of the full 8 days here in Copenhagen that will also be fully supported and financed from our side, thanks to a lot of partners alongside. We will make sure that you get a stage, the possibility to showcase your ideas into the Congress, that you're invited into specific relevant business forums where you can be part of the conversations around your startup, showcasing the solution, inviting for partnerships. but in the month of June, we will offer you also a number of boot camps to make sure that you have developed a strategy for the Congress, that you're connected with relevant mentors to accelerate the journey that you're on, and also tap into the keynotes that will be offered both for the student teams as well as for the startups. We have done this not only 3 times before, but actually working with 5 different world congresses for the last many years. So you are also joining a program that is continuously developing, but where we are also very confidently in what we can bring of value for you in this journey that you are also part of shaping. So with that, I just want to say that I hope to see your applications and your signups. And for those of you selected, I'm really, really looking forward to build a very, very strong program to accelerate your journey and learning in this. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you very much, Mary. I think that certainly encourages, ends on an encouraging note for everybody, all the young entrepreneurs and academics to apply. Nextly, I would like to request Dr. Philip, the Chief Advisor, Danish Environmental Protection Agency, Ministry of Environment, to kindly present your keynote. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Like Marie, I'm calling you from Denmark, from the Danish Environmental Protection Agency, or Danish EPA for short. The Danish EPA has the great honor of funding part of the water challenge this and last year through the Strategic Sector Cooperation Project on Water between the Danish EPA and the Indian Jal Jeevan mission under the Ministry of Jal Shakti. The overall purpose of the Jal Jeevan mission is to secure access to tap water in rural areas in India. And in this context, the Indian topic of this year's water challenge fits extremely well. The challenge sounds, how can we develop to utilize systems as multifunctional spaces that support recreational activities or promote inclusive communities while acting as effective water resource management systems, especially in rural areas? However, it is not only the related topic that is the reason why the Danish EPA supports this water challenge. There are also some great similarities in the modalities of the Indo-Danish cooperation, of the Strategic Sector Cooperation, and this water challenge. The Strategic Sector Cooperation is all about partnerships and mutual knowledge exchange. From Danish side in the program, we come with experiences from many decades on how to secure a safe and reliable water supply with sustainable use of groundwater at a minimum water loss and effective energy use, and with involvement of local communities in the process. Our Indian partners in the project comes with equal experience and knowledge on these topics, but within the context of the very different water supply system of India. And what happens when you bring together experts from such different countries, experts with different perspectives and experiences, but on the exact same challenges of a safe and reliable water supply, is that you get new perspectives on old problems. And then what happens is that we together, Danish and Indians, find new solutions to these old problems. And I believe that the same goes with this water challenge. And I believe that it makes sense that young innovators and young entrepreneurs like you should play an important role in solving the problems of this planet. This is not only because you'll end up being the ones suffering the consequences should we not be able to solve it, but especially because you, from your perspective, have some different views on how to solve the problems, that through this program, this international and multidisciplinary knowledge exchange program of the Water Challenge will be the key to find the good solutions that we all need. And I'm confident that you will during this program. And on the behalf of the Danish EPA, I can't wait to follow the process and go to Copenhagen this summer to hear more of the great solutions to this year's Water Challenge. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Philip. All right, so with that, we are going to now dive a little bit more deeper into this water challenge, and each speaker in this particular session is going to explain more about the challenge and what is expected, the timeline, etc. So in this particular session, I would like to invite firstly Mr. Arun Lal, who is the water expert at the Water Vertical and Niti Aayog, to kindly introduce and give more details about this initiative. Over to you, Arun.
Neha, am I clearly audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and greetings to everyone. I'm sorry to asking for an out of 10 opportunity to speak first before Dr. Pennan and Dr. Nandamar sir, but I had an engagement at 4:30 with advisor sir. That's why I have requested, and it was in fact challenging for me to manage these two meetings, and Anurag has jumped in to help me with this workaround. So I feel this is what happens whenever we face some challenges, and even water sector is nowhere different. We have a number of challenges, and we have young, bright minds who are jumping in to solve those problems with innovative solutions. And India's water sector in particular is very unique as compared to other countries due to a variety of factors, right from the availability of water in a very widely what we say, basin to basin. We have a wide disparity in distribution. We have some basins with highly flood prone, while some other basins are drought prone. And second, we have 18% of global population in India with very limited water resource, say about 4%. So thirdly, as compared to other infrastructure sectors, the technological penetration in water sector has been very low since quite long time. And very recently, we have started infusing more technological options to solve our pertinent water problems. We used to manage it in a way that we used to manage 50 years before. So, but recently we have started to change that paradigm. We are changing for the better. And in many of the international reports, that is very evident that this region has very unique and pressing challenges that has to be addressed as early as possible. And AIM-ICDK challenge is one of the best avenues where we can explore the options to address it in a very effective manner and in a sustainable way. I'm not going to the details of the challenges that Indian water sector is facing because that will be very enormous. I cannot detail it in 10 minutes time. And I don't think it is necessary for the audience, even for the panelists or for those who are viewing it online. So this year water challenge is quite exciting for the reason that it is inclusive water management systems for rural communities. To put it brief, and it could be detailed to any extent. So I want to highlight three aspects of this. First is inclusiveness, which has a very wider meaning than the dictionary provides. I think, and who understands the inclusiveness and inclusion in water context is going to have an edge in this challenge. Second, the water management system. It's not a solution, it's about a system. The system is very complex and it's interconnected with a lot of factors. And if you speak in avatar lines, water connects all things. So I think those who understand that can find some solutions to many of the problems that we face. And thirdly, how the rural community, because the community management or the community approach in water management has been successful in India for quite a long time. But in some time we lost it when it has been taken over by the public authorities, and when we start to impose certain brilliant solutions, which was not actually brilliant, and which only the time could prove us there were some downside for those solutions that we have adopted. So here I would like to detail 3 points about the inclusiveness and the community approach and the water data that we are trying to highlight. So when we speak about inclusiveness, I must remind the participants that you should think of the most weakest section of the society when you design a solution, particularly women and children. Though we say that 200 million hours per day is lost to bring water, you should actually look at a very micro scale. You should look around and see how many of your neighbors, how many of your friends are actually struggling for that. Because when you look at rural India, the situation is very grave. When you say in terms of hours or GDP, it may not give you the actual gruesome picture that is it gives you the picture which it won't give you the gruesome picture which actually it is. So I had an opportunity to work in some of the water scarce districts and panchayat of India for some part of my assignment. So I could actually see where the family is asking their girl children to stay back to collect water, where the water is being supplied in tankers, which will come at sometimes in the daytime, 10 or 11. So they have to skip their schools and stay back. Because generally, if they are saying this to boys, generally they don't care about it and they may go for playing, and the family end up with having no water for the whole day. So maybe that's one of the reasons. But eventually, we are doing a big dent to the future of society and the country as a whole by making our girl children to stay back. Secondly, about the data. Even in the latest UN Water Data Report, UN Water Report of 2023, a chapter has been dedicated for effective management of data and its importance in water planning. And there should be a cooperation in collection and sharing of data to make it more effective. The data could be used in terms of irrigation planning, where we generally depend on some static schedule, or it could be for drinking water quality. It could be for water availability. It could be about the water system. It could be about the distribution network. It could be about the groundwater. So they have no limit where you can explore the data and make it more accessible and visible for better planning at any level. Actually, the beauty of data is that it could be used by anyone. There is no limit. It could be used by somebody working at the field level. It could be used by somebody working at the very top hierarchy in a planning organization. And thirdly, the community approach. Actually, we have to explore and give more avenues where the communities can collaborate and work effectively. Which even the present day, there are no established mechanism to make this happen. There are a few odd cases where there the communities came together in some special cases and proved to be successful, but there are no established mechanisms that could be scaled across the country for this particular community approach to be successful. So these are the three major points that I would like to highlight. And as we have already reminded in the past two editions, our approach should be global. And in just edition, we always feel the whole world is a family, and we should form our solution with that vision in mind. I'm wishing all the best to all the participants, and I hope we will come out with very brilliant solutions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for highlighting those three important points. And this year's focus specifically on inclusion, systems thinking, which is very important, and also solving for society. I would like to now invite the next speaker, Mr. Nandakumar, who is the lead mentor this year for this year's challenge. He is the CEO, International Center for Clean Water at the Research Park at IIT Madras. Over to you, Nandakumar, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Neha. I hope I'm audible and visible. Okay. I thank the organizers. It is exciting for me to have been part of this AIM-ICDK challenge these past 3 years. As Anurag mentioned, the teams that have come out on top have progressed very well, and I'm glad that ICCW has been involved in their continuing to build their business. We have managed to arrange some funding and also help them to scale successfully. We look forward to a similar or even greater impact this time around. To make it clear, let me explain the current year's Indian Water Challenge in a little more detail for the benefit of the audience. I have a small deck which I prepared just to help me to put the points across. Just give me a minute before I am able to share it. Is it visible? Or
It's visible.
okay. Okay, so the topic is inclusive water management systems for rural communities. And rural is in brackets, so it's preferably rural, but we could look at urban as well. Largely, it is looking at inclusivity. The statement itself that has been developed after discussion with all the people who are part of the organizing committee is how might we develop a solution to utilize water systems as multifunctional spaces. So multifunctional, I have highlighted or underlined multifunctional. that supports recreational activities. So it's a little different from the past where technology was given a lot of emphasis. Here we're looking at creative solutions which involve multifunctional spaces as well as recreational activities and what have you in terms of people participating, and promotes inclusive communities while acting as effective water resource management systems, especially in the rural areas. So management systems for water. So it's a different kind of a challenge. So I thought I would spend little time in brainstorming it live with you. So take the next. Yeah, just going back in time, several hundred or thousand years ago, all of us are familiar with the fact that water has gravitated civilizations and people have actually realized that water is part of life. And what has happened subsequently is something that we need to ponder about. We seem to have developed, but have we left some things behind, and it is forcing us to rethink how we deal with water today and how we can bring people together around water. So there is something in the history that we may be interested in looking into. Even looking at a few hundred years ago, these pictures demonstrate the kind of work that's happened in India, and I'm sure in several parts of the world, in terms of how water as a resource was preserved, was kept for the future. The monsoon happens only a few months a year. That's the only source of water for most of India. And if it is preserved and maintained, I'm sure there is a lot of science which has gone into this. It may be validated today with modern science to see how we can draw inspiration from some of these success stories and take it forward. What is happening today? This picture is pretty common in most parts of India, many cities. There is abundance of water during the rains, but immediately thereafter there is a drought. So what exactly have we done wrong is something that we could think about. It's not that water is in short supply. There is plentiful water, as you can see on the left-hand side, but it is not available at the right time, at the right place, and maybe in the right quality. So where did we go wrong? Some of these pictures are graphically illustrated. Something has happened in the cities and probably is happening in the villages as well. We are paving the environment. We are not allowing the rainwater to percolate or recharge into the ground. The rainwater therefore runs off to the water bodies, to the rivers, the lakes, picking up any solid waste or any other material on its way. In addition, we have our own industries and our own domestic sewage, which is hard to handle. It's not a criticism or anything, but that's the way we have evolved over the last several years. Our population is one of the factors in India. All of you are aware that we have 18% of the world's population, but only 4% of the world's water resources. And we are probably the largest consumers or extractors of groundwater. The reason is our rivers and lakes are polluted, which are the source of surface water that we cannot use. So there is a huge opportunity. I would like to look at this as an opportunity, and it's very well possible to handle this in a very innovative and intelligent way. So because of the fact that the water runs off into the sea or into the water bodies and is not usable, what we end up doing is investing in expensive desalination plants, treating the seawater and bringing it back to drinking water. So you see the irony in the whole thing. Nature does its job. Water is naturally recyclable. Despite all our, way we handle water, nature is kind enough to make it evaporate, transpire, and give it back as rain. This is something that we would like to see how the young minds are able to leverage and be able to provide a solution. So some representations, just something to provoke thought among people who are watching this telecast. If we have a place where we have a water treatment plant, giving clean water to communities, obviously there could be people coming there. They would need additional spaces to participate in events that can be created over there. Then the water that is consumed by the people, if we have e-toilets or wastewater treatment, rainwater harvesting, it's an entire ecosystem that can be created. What happens below the ground would be as important as what happens above the ground. Activity centers. These are some thoughts I'm just leaving with you. This is not the only way. I don't want you to be biased by what is shown here. But can we create a kind of situation where people are able to connect emotionally with water? Water is central to our lives. Water is affecting almost all aspects of our lives. Wherever we look for life, we look for water. And so let me end here by saying that I really look forward to mentoring and helping the shortlisted teams on this journey. And I understand it will be a very intensive interaction for the first 3 weeks of June, I'm told. Time is short, and it is expected that the teams will not just crystallize their thoughts, but also come up with some kind of a prototype at the end of the 3 weeks to showcase that in the finals at Copenhagen. And so this is a time for you to exercise your creative brain and look at solutions that are not run-of-the-mill, not linear thinking. Put on your lateral thinking hats and look at a community. Look at inclusiveness. Look at circularity. How can water be, because nature is recycling, and as long as you can align with nature, you could do a lot of things with minimum cost. What we have probably done in the last hundreds of years is that we have tried to fight with nature. And we are now talking about climate change and global warming, and as if we have to protect the environment. I don't think we need to protect the environment. It knows how to protect itself. We have to align with it. So I'm just leaving these few thoughts with you. The end of the day, if we have a community of residents who are able to consume water in a guilt-free atmosphere. I mean, they should not feel guilty about consuming water. Today, we talk about conservation, we talk about all that is good. But can we look forward to a day where people just enjoy, jump? That's why the recreation part, can they just jump into the water, enjoy and celebrate, knowing fully well that we have taken care of future generations' requirement and there's a circularity built in. So I'll leave you with that thought. All the very best.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nandakumar, for ending on a positive and encouraging note for all the probable applicants of this challenge. You very rightly explained the challenge statement in great detail, as well as complemented, I think, Arun's presentation as well on the systems thinking aspect of it, as well as the science that is rooted in indigenous knowledge and society. With that, I would like to invite the next speaker, who's also going to be one of the mentorship guidance in one of the mentorship guidance role for this challenge, Professor Penn, the Assistant Professor, IIT Bombay. Over to you, Professor Penn.
Thanks a lot. So welcome everyone to this session on going through the challenge statement. First of all, let me take pride in congratulating the ICDK AIM teams for the last two versions, which are very successful. I was happy to be associated with this from the two sessions as a lead. So now this session is totally in a different angle but still circulating on water. I would just like to draw some examples from the previous two sessions which could help the new participants. Please don't feel shy that you are not a hydrologist or a water expert yet. Feel free to bring up your ideas, because that is what the learning we have had in the previous two sessions, that even though they are not a hydrologist or civil engineers working on water, environmental consultants, they had good ideas, very small but very good ideas. And when they bring it up to this consortium, this collaboration, which is beautifully set up between government agencies like AIM Niti Aayog, along with academics like IIT Bombay, IIT Madras, and we also have DTU, which is very, very successful in water challenges. We also have industries participating in these venues. So what happens is we have a collaboration of different stakeholders, and your ideas get catapulted or leapfrogged into a solution that actually becomes viable both in the market and also for industries and environment's sake. So again, congratulating the beautiful collaborations that have been made, and this should encourage participation from different disciplines. Water is a very complex topic because it is not just hydrology, which goes up and down as water, but it also includes a lot of different disciplines. So you can pick your discipline and then take part in this challenge, and then we can all collaboratively work on the sustainable development. Every country wants to develop sustainably, and for that the UN has given SDGs, 17 SDGs. If you look closely, water is the only theme that can run across all the 17 SDGs. Let's say poverty, reduction of poverty. If good water resources are developed and livelihood options are created, as given in the current this year's challenge statement, your livelihood options can pull you out of poverty. So these are very small but beautiful examples that you can work on. And then over the period of 3 weeks, 4 weeks of mentorship, your idea will emerge from small concepts to proof of concepts to concepts that can be defended on international stage, like what we have done in the past sessions. So I welcome all of you on board. And one saying that I learned in DTU was, let water flow and let water data also flow. As long as water data flows, there are multiple accesses that can be created for water use, and also sharing of water can be made well if we share the data well. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Penner, for highlighting the multidisciplinary aspect of which is very important for solving, as you rightly said, the complex problems of water at hand, and for also encouraging applicants from different disciplines and backgrounds. And finally, I would like to invite Dr. Soren, who is the Consulate General of Deputy Head of Mission, Science and Technology, for his keynote. Over to you, Dr. Soren.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me? Yes? All right. Yes. So, my name is Søren. I'm the Science and Innovation Counselor at the Danish Innovation Center in Bangalore in India. Denmark has 7 innovation centers around the world, and they have been put in place in order to enhance collaboration internationally within science and technology at global hotspots. And so we have in the US and Germany and Korea, China, Israel, and of course also India, and that is situated in Bangalore, where I'm working together with 7 colleagues on international collaboration within innovation and research. And we do that by doing a matchmaking and bilateral research calls, but also projects like this. And this is actually a very good example of how we, in a very tangible way, can work together, India and Denmark. There are several reasons for highlighting this particular project and our platform, and I do that every time I'm out giving presentations about what we do at the Innovation Center, because first of all, it's a platform where we can address a very, as we heard in the former speakers talk about, that water-related challenges is a very important topic, and increasingly so. That has also been recognized by our governments, both in India and Denmark. Denmark has a green strategic partnership together with India. It's a very high-level political framework, but there are some specific topics where we are obliged to work together, and that is, among other things, within water and science and technology and entrepreneurship. So this specific platform is a way where we actually address some of these areas where the 2 countries have agreed to collaborate. I think many of the former speakers have actually mentioned some of the strengths of the project, and besides that it's very relevant, but it has also showed, especially the Indian teams have performed very well. both last year and the year before. So the ambition level is very high also for this year. I will participate in Copenhagen, so I'm really hoping we have some good candidates who can again this year around get some scholarships and some funding, and not at least try to get some good solutions out into the world. At least 2 startups have managed to get to survive the innovation gap that often happens when the projects end and the reality kicks in. But it is doable, and this is a good way to start your endeavor as a startup or researcher. So I really encourage everyone to come up and give it a go, come with some good solutions, and then we'll see each other in Copenhagen. I would also like to thank all our partners who have collaborated in this. It's been a pleasure, both the universities and the government agencies. I think it's seen from a process perspective, it's also been quite a successful way to collaborate between Denmark and India. So with that, I wish all of you and all of us the best of luck for this year's call. And that's actually what I had to say here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Soren, for highlighting the key aspects of the form challenges as well. And certainly it seems like a great collaborative opportunity for knowledge exchange between Denmark and India. Now with that, we have come towards the end of this program. And I would like to thank all the speakers for the great overview of this opportunity that they presented. Going into the details of the program, I hope the applicants would utilize this information to participate in great enthusiasm for this year's challenge. I think this offers great opportunity for facilitation, financial support, networking, especially ahead of the World Congress, as Mary was saying, in Copenhagen, and collaboration. For nurturing your innovative solutions for solving problems on SDGs, inclusion, and technology grounded in contextual realities. So I would reiterate and amplify everyone's call for this year's challenge and encourage all the young academics and entrepreneurs to apply. Please do not forget to visit the website at Atal Innovation Mission and nextgenerationcity.com, which is also put in the chat here. If you'd like to know more details on how to apply, etc. Anurag, if we have any questions on the YouTube live, then we can pick them up now. Otherwise, we can close the program.
So I'm just having to. Yeah, so one of the question is, when do the applications close? Yeah, so to answer that, we are closing the first round on 24th of this month. So I'll urge all the eager students and entrepreneurs to go to the websites and apply in a large number. Yeah, I think we have that question only as of now.
Okay, if no other questions, then we still have 5 minutes left. Any parting thoughts from any of the speakers?
So I'll just take a moment. I'll share my screen. I just want to show the, yeah. So to the potential students and entrepreneur teams who will be participating, these are the kind of opportunities that you will get. Personally, see the students, got a chance right from the mentoring support from both, the Danish side as well as Indian side. So on the left-hand side, you can see all the students, entrepreneurs coming together, getting certificates, acknowledgement. Similarly, on the right-hand side, you can see that, right from a professor mentoring to the water minister of the country, you were able to access all of them. So it's a great, very big opportunity for a young entrepreneur or student to get such kind of exposure at a very young age in your life. So please make sure that you utilize this opportunity to the fullest and make a maximum out of it. So that, I think, we'll close this call today. And thank you once again, everyone, for joining the call and taking out time today to participate in it. Thank you.
Thank you.